Hello everybody, and welcome back once again to Gazagoji YT, and today I will be challenging arguably the most well-known marine hybrid in the entire hybrid war community as of the time I'm making this video, Brontorhina bathyalis, better known as Bermuda. Made by Baku, this cosmopolitan monstrosity continues the reign of supremacy that this brain snail has had over hybrid contests after winning the Prelude hybrid war and establishing itself as the primary antagonist of the second hybrid war made by Goji Center, in which I unfortunately most likely won't be participating in. But that does not mean I won't be throwing my hat into the ring, as today I will be challenging this monster of the deep with my own monster that will hopefully dethrone Bermuda as the new ruler of the bathyalgic zone. So with that out of the way, let's begin. The first genetic contributor in my hybrid's genome is Prionosuchus plumeri. This will be my hybrid's base genome, given this crocodile-like amphibian already provides many of the required traits that we need. Hailing from the early Permian period, this was a large marine amphibian adapted to high salinity, as well as boasting a highly advanced respiratory system that's primarily lung-based like a normal air breather, but with a primordial secondary gill-based respiratory system to accommodate its ability to hold its breath underwater for extended periods of time. The second genetic contributor in my hybrid's genome is Temnodactysaurus trigonodon. This marine reptile will provide its flippers in replacement of the Prionosuchus' whimsy arms and legs, with these flippers proving useful for speed, agility, and most importantly, silent swimming, courtesy of its specialized tips that minimize sound. Furthermore, this will give my hybrid a larger torso and stronger bone composition in its skeletal frame to better withstand crushing pressures in the deep sea, in addition to a layer of blubber, alongside modifications to the cardiovascular system to properly adapt to these frozen waters. The third genetic contributor in my hybrid's genome is Shonisaurus papillaris, another ichthyosaur which will be used solely for increasing my hybrid's size and mass to better stand his ground against the whale shark-sized Bermuda. The fourth genetic contributor to my hybrid's genome is Taylor salamander. Moving on to the extant genetic contributors, Taylor salamander modifies my hybrid's gills for enhanced oxygen intake, with this species of salamander also being very well adapted for handling high levels of salinity, so my hybrid can still breathe with those in salt water. The fifth genetic contributor to my hybrid's genome is the common olm. This cave-dwelling extraterrestrial-looking amphibian will, as you could clearly see, remove my hybrid's eyes. Now you might be wondering, why on earth would you do that? You're basically handicapping your hybrid really hard. Well, there are 4 reasons for that. 1. It will give my hybrid a more intimidating appearance that, while it may not necessarily work against Bermuda given its large appetite and lack of major cognitive capacity for the sake of protecting its brain from its own electric charges, this trick might prove more effective against a more intelligent animal with good eyesight. 2. Considering that this hybrid spends a good portion of its time in the deep sea where no light can be perceived, this makes the use of an optical system pretty much obsolete. But you might be thinking, can't you just use Temnodactysaurus for its eyes adapted for excellent vision at deep depths? And that would be a valid argument, but it also takes us to point 3, protecting my hybrid against Bermuda's blinding bioluminescent ink from the tail-large shark. But once again, you might be asking, just use tiger shark for its nictitating eye membrane. The problem with that is that while this trait would make it to where the eyes wouldn't be damaged by the ink, these eye membranes don't interfere with vision, and with the bioluminescent ink being, well, bioluminescent, the hybrid would still be blinded and all of those adaptations would be for nothing. So making this hybrid not relying on visual perception will allow it to fight comfortably without being affected by that ink. And 4, the removal of eyes would reduce my hybrid's metabolic needs, with 15% of the energy intake of most animals being devoted to the optical system. So this will certainly help my hybrid conserve its energy better. Moreover, the olm will significantly bolster its senses of hearing, smell, touch, electroreception, chemoreception, and mechanoreception, allowing it to draw a 3D map of its surroundings as well as perceiving other living organisms and tracking their movement, not to mention its ability to store high amounts of fat and lipids in its liver for greater energy efficiency. The sixth genetic contributor to my hybrid's genome is the ringed caecilian. This goated amphibian provides a major boost to my hybrid's immune system, making it immune to a wide range of toxins and diseases, coupled with the mineralization of the collagen fibers provided by an upcoming additive, making them significantly more durable while still retaining flexibility, in addition to providing my hybrid's skull structure for a devastating bite with dual rows of teeth and powerful rams given how broad and highly ossified its skull is, and lastly, its skin glands that produce a toxic mucus for defense. The seventh genetic contributor in my habit's genome is the Pacific hagfish. Contrary to what you may believe, this fish will not be used for its slime. At least, not in the way that you think, as it will instead be used to make the toxic skin mucus more slimy, making it harder to bite into this hybrid. The eighth genetic contributor in my hybrid's genome is the Indonesian coelacanth. This living fossil provides strong but flexible scales in the dermal skin layer with a double bulligant structure within them for providing optimal protection. However, the reason why I picked the coelacanth over my typical pick for armor being the Congo Bashir is that these scales are better adapted for handling the crushing pressure in deep sea environments, protecting my hybrid's organs from collapsing under all that pressure. The ninth genetic contributor in my hybrid's genome is the leatherback sea turtle. This car-sized marine reptile provides a bolstered immune system, its ability to detect magnetic fields, and the bright blue spot on the forehead which acts as a migrational beacon, as well as increased lung capacity and the addition of a diaphragm for enhanced breath-holding capabilities even at immense depths, coupled with lactic acid buffering agents in the muscle fibers to prevent fatigue, its counter-current heat exchange system in the front flippers, high blood volume relative to body size, high concentrations of hemoglobin and myoglobin, and lastly, it provides its thick, smooth, yet rubbery epidermal layer of skin for maintaining the dermal coelacanth scales in good condition. The 10th genetic contributor to my habit's genome is the saltwater crocodile. The largest modern-day reptile provides its highly advanced immune system, four-chambered heart, rapid blood clotting, basis for general/predatory intelligence, and enhanced spatial memory for keeping track of its surroundings, enhanced hearing as well as low-frequency vocalizations, highly developed olfactory bulbs for an enhanced sense of smell, although my hybrid won't be smelling with its nostrils, energy-efficient metabolism, dental modification for broader, more conical teeth, and lastly, its more muscular tail for greater propulsion. The 11th genetic contributor to my habit's genome is the steephead parrotfish. This vibrant fish provides its fluoropatide complex for strengthening the teeth, as well as providing its mouth padding for safely biting down on prickly defenses. The 12th genetic contributor to my hybrid's genome is the Atlantic wolffish. Concluding my hybrid's genome, the Atlantic wolffish will be used to robustify the jawbone and provide its large canine-like teeth, hence its namesake, to amplify its bite effectiveness. Now that the genome is done, it's time to introduce the hybrid's true form. Salamandralienus marina, name meaning the alien sea salamander. Length, 13.5 meters or 44 feet. Width, 4 meters or 13.12 feet, and weight 22 tons. The image you see in front of you showcases the male individual by the name of Pale, and this image in front of you showcases the female individual by the name of Bella. Now let's talk about how this species as a whole would fare in an ecological setting. As a neotenic amphibian, Salamandralienus marina retains its juvenile traits like the gills across its lifetime. A female Salamandralienus will lay its large cluster of eggs in the outskirts of the Amazon River, the part where the river connects to the ocean, as while adults can tolerate high salinity rather easily, embryos cannot, and so they would enter freshwater environments to hatch, as hundreds of babies start feeding on the smaller game found in the river, with a small number of individuals that do survive these dangerous waters entering a new growth stage as they head out to the Atlantic Ocean, where they would travel across thousands of kilometers as a part of their migration route to acquire more nutritious food sources by relying on a crocodile-like hunting style, swimming slowly and silently across the deep ocean with their acute senses allowing them to locate prey before lunging at it with a powerful bite or headbutt maneuver, with these adults feeding on sharks, large fish, sea turtles, etc., with an incredible ability to hold its breath for approximately 1.5 to 2 hours at a time and dive approximately 1,050 meters, could be higher or lower, and at the end of the migration, the female utilizes her migrational beacon to return to the outskirts of the Amazon River, where it was born to lay its eggs as the cycle continues. And with that, we conclude this video. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and be sure to tune in next time when we come back for the great hybrid warfare. I hope. So until then, goodbye.